No Police in Schools is a campaign that came out of a growing community concern about the presence of police officers in Greater Manchester schools. We found out that in the academic year 2020-21, there would be 20 more police officers stationed in Greater Manchester schools. We're concerned about this increase, as well as the very real existing presence of police in our schools at the moment.
The key concerns around having police in schools are several. One, it's really a culture of low expectations. Police officers aren't placed in schools that are in rich, affluent areas. They're placed in predominantly working class and in areas with racialised communities. It's a real safeguarding risk for young people who may feel less likely to disclose sensitive information under the fear that they may be criminalised around it. Big issue around the criminalisation of young people. It's true that 50% of children in youth offending institutions are from Black, Asian, minority ethnic groups. Placing young people into close contact with the criminal justice system is only going to increase that. It's only going to deepen the school to prison pipeline. But also, it goes into fundamentally, what schools are for. I believe that schools are a place where children learn, they build bond solidarity between different communities. Placing police officers there creates a culture of suspicion around young people.
When police are in schools, it causes students to feel unsafe in an environment they should feel safe in. It's turning the school into what looks like a prison, and I don't think that's how students should be educated, to know that they're being watched all the time.
People argue that having police in schools will enable a more positive relationship between young people and the police, but we know that that's not going to be the case. Young people don't have positive experiences with the police outside of school, so them being in school is not going to magically enable that relationship to be better. It's going to make young people fear police even more, because there's more time and space where young people are going to be under surveillance and watched by the police, which isn't going to help them to feel positive about the police, especially if they're going to help enforce behavioural punishments at school. There's a real fear around how they're going to be involved.
If something happens, like there's a fight or something in a school with policing, they could be criminalised, and that stays on their record for the rest of their lives, and they can't change it.
Minor disciplinary issues that would normally be dealt with a quiet word with a head of year or a pastoral support officer, because you've got a police officer in school, that police officer is in there, and that really changes the dynamic of relationship from one that's in education between a member of staff who's there in a supportive role to a police officer who's there representing the criminal justice system.
We know that police officers are not going to be in grammar schools. We know that they're not going to be in private schools. They're going to be in areas that are in working class areas, where there are more black and brown young people, where there are more working class young people, that are less resourced areas. We know that the police are going to be targeting those schools. So it's going to exacerbate already existing inequalities.
Speaking as a teacher, the impact of placing police in schools would be incredibly negative. I go into my workplace not expecting a police officer there. I go into my workplace not expecting to be policed and to be watched over. The trade union that I'm a part of, the National Education Union, we did a survey of our members last year, and the vast majority of them opposed placing police in schools.
The Mayor's Office and the police, who support the implementations of more police in schools, are doing so on the basis of thinking that police in schools will build bridges between young people and the police. But we're already dealing with an institutionally racist police force, so we know that's not going to happen. They're doing it because they think that police in schools might be able to help behavioural issues or youth violence, but actually those issues will not be solved by police in schools. We need the root causes of those issues to be addressed. Our schools have been underfunded for 10 years now and cut, and we need that funding replaced. We need money going into teachers, youth workers, into our wider communities.
Let's place the money under things such as smaller class sizes. Let's place the money to train educators around restorative justice, rather than placing police officers in schools.
The key purpose of education should be, going to school, having that learning environment, and being able to, learn about your different subjects, and then get your GCSEs and go off to college and get the job that you wanted, and not, to be watched by police, your every move, and then having you grow up thinking everyone's watching your every move. That's not the mindset you want your child or friend or whoever is in that school to have.
If you want to help the No Police in Schools campaign, you can visit our website, nopoliceinschools.co.uk. You can find resources and templates there to learn more, to write to your MP, to help your local school challenge and resist the introduction of police officers. And you can visit there and find lots more about the ways that you can support our action.